Hello, chat. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to another Ninja Gato interview. Today, I have a very cool guest that I met in the Silent Hill community, and that is Maria Dance. Maria. Where'd you go? There you are. Maria, how are you? How are you, Maria?
Sorry, we got you off.
That's okay. Alright, lower the volume. Getting that one tick of volume is always tricky, but hello, Maria.
Hello. How are you today?
We're doing good. We definitely haven't been chatting this entire time. How are you?
No, absolutely not. I'm doing well now that I'm a little bit awake and I'm sipping on. I don't know if the caffeine actually does anything, but I think it's more placebo at this point, and I'm sipping on some manner of caffeine.
Nice. And it looks like my Mikoverse session crashed. That's okay. It'll just be you and me until I get that going again. All right, so let me get my Unreal Cat. I'm here in your world. Check this out. Check it out.
Yeah. You're in our little den, our little hideout.
Yes.
There are many things to climb on and explore. Just don't knock one of the monitors down, please. Well, I guess most of them are salvaged anyways. You can see the cracks in them, so
Yes.
it wouldn't look much different.
Yeah, cat knocking things over, that totally does not happen, and we totally don't do that all the time.
Absolutely. I'm absolutely inclined to believe.
So, all right. So the first thing I do you have my channel open, by the way? Do you have my channel?
I do.
Or the stream open, sorry.
There's a little bit of a delay, but I do.
All right. So the first thing I do is I usually shout out the guest, and I have a shout out module that's going to play a random clip from your channel, and you are going to have to explain what we're looking at. So are you ready?
Ooh, I wonder if it's going to be an edited clip or if it's just like a random chat clip really quick.
Random. As random as can be.
I guess I'll bring up the audio really quick as well.
All right. Oh, you might not have clips under 15 seconds. That has also been an issue with some people.
I think I have some.
I'm surprised. Let me try it again. I'm surprised it didn't. Oh, I didn't do the right command. That's what happened. I did the traditional shout out. All right, let me do exclamation point show. XO. There we go. Now we should get a random clip. And then you'll have to tell me what we're looking at.
Let's see.
That was a very loud burp. It was a very loud burp.
I didn't see. Oh, there it is. Oh, hey, I also said let's see in the clip. I was in Let's Go Eevee with a mod of mine at the time, a friend of mine as well, and I was shiny hunting for Bellsprout, and it's kind of become an on-stream bit that I can usually do a pretty.
Wait, you can burp on command, basically.
For the most part.
Is it rude to ask?
I don't know if I should demonstrate or not, but.
What do you guys think? You think we should have this streamer try to show us their talent? Let's see here. Manually until most people can. I've never been able to burp on command, like ever. Now I'm curious. Would you be opposed to burping on command?
Yeah. 1 second.
All right.
I mean, I am not opposed. Rather, I was actually prepping one and then I swallowed it.
Oh no, that's bad.
Now it's trapped in the stomach.
No. I'll do it. Okay, King says do it. So let's see it.
Oh, it got stuck. Oh no.
Oh, we heard it moving up. We heard it come out.
Oh, there's so much pressure. See, a lot of times I've been getting stuck lately. If you lean to the left, that just hurts. Oh
I'm
no,
so sorry.
My talent, it's gone.
No, it's too much pressure. Literally on the spot, as well as gastrointestinally. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was a small one.
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, but I
Oh
haven't.
no, you're just trickling out. What? Come on, you can do it.
That was pretty. Like those are pretty impressive. If those are the small guys. There's a base there. Yeah,
It's small but base. It's gonna like erupt out any moment.
that's okay.
Like as we're talking, it's just gonna slip out.
That's okay.
Oh wow, there was no
That was
audio
good.
to that one. It was just a puff of air.
Nope, we heard that.
All right, well my talent is not working right now. Maybe it's because I'm anxious because I'm not in my normal. I am in my space, but not. Oh,
Whoa.
that one was
That was
messy.
good. That was good. That commanded the stage. That
There we go. That was better. A little
wow.
better, anyways.
I've never known somebody who could actually do this. So this is actually amazing, believe it or not.
I've seen most people just be able to do like a little that,
Yeah,
like that. That one simply just do an inhale and exhale really quick.
No, you did like a whole gator growl, let it rip type of thing. That's pretty impressive.
Let it rip like a Beyblade.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
And now it's gonna keep happening because I did so much prep work and there's still like air in my stomach. So now I apologize because it's
No.
gonna become a problem.
Mika says, in my case, I just need to sit up because I'm mainly laying down while I'm playing PlayStation or laptop. And you can just let them fly? Mika? That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Wow. Okay. All right. So the first traditional question we do is the lore behind the name. So, and I told my community ahead of time that I knew you as a different name before. So why don't you give us the lore behind both and then the evolution?
Oh,
So-
okay. So, my current name is Maria Descent. It's based off of, my name, Maria, hybrid with the word iridescent. So then it goes together and you can kind of get some vibes of that with like the RGB hairstyle. I also have some features that are coming later that will have like an iridescent shimmer to it. But my current name is literally Maria and iridescent mashed together. But my name before was Project Valkyrie, which was my very first VTubing persona. And it was actually the project was just, it was originally going to be Project Valkyrie because that makes sense because my character was very Valkyrie-esque. But and I like the word like doing like, it's like similar to like Project Melody or something where like it is like a streaming project in a way. But Project Valkyrie was already taken and I was like, but I like the vibe of that. And I just kind of stared at it. I'm like, Valk. Oh, wait, my name's Yui. I'll just do Valk Yui. And it just rolled off the tongue really well. So then that started creating the trend of making hybrid names. Like I have Valk Yui for Valkyrie and Yui. And then I have, because she's very Valkyrie coded, despite not actually being a Valkyrie. And then my current name is Maria Iridescent or Maria Descent. Or Maria Descent because we're going crazy over here, descending into madness. Because the full name for Maria is Maria Psycho, but not like not the like English word psycho, but Japanese name Psycho, which can mean like the best or to be the best, or it sounds like psycho because I might be going a little crazy, but that's beside the point. And then Project Valkyrie, her full name was Yui Estelle de Lancourt. But, Project Valkyrie. I guess there is a current like Project Melody vibe to this character, like more of like the cyberpunk, like more of like the like punk cyberpunk, very colorful, very vibrant. Wasn't exactly the vibe we were going for, but I guess she's probably just like kind of somewhere in the back of my mind. I apologize. Please continue on.
No, we're going down the lore of the names and how you came up with Maria Iridescent, which is also Maria Descent, like you're saying, into your world, into madness, and then Maria Psycho. Like, there has to be some inspiration behind that. What was the inspiration to make the change, and how you came up with, the mishmash of the two? Like, there has to be outside influences. What influenced it?
For like between Project Valkyrie to Maria Descent.
Yeah.
So Project Valkyrie, well, both Maria and Yui, those were characters I used to utilize in writing and role playing while I was growing up from early high school into adulthood, because I would, be on websites like Gaia Online, writing stories and doing role plays with friends of mine. And Yui was a character that had been with me since very early high school during my troubled years. And Yui, in that context, grew alongside me. And in the process of growing up, I eventually made another character, Maria, who was a character I wanted to be like growing up. Like, I put a lot of like my aspirations and who I wanted to be like in developing Maria. Like, this is who I want to be like, where Yui was somebody who was growing with me. And so their stories are actually like intermingled with each other, and they were both characters that I was debating on when I first decided to start my VTuber journey, which was in very first started my VTuber journey, like actually talking with artists and stuff, or an artist, January 25th, 26th in 2022. So it's been almost 3 years. And I was debating between Maria and Yui, and I eventually went with Yui. And then, we get some years down the line, I make like a really in-depth lore for Yui that has a lot of potential to lead to a lot of different avenues. And along that way, we can go more in depth in this afterward later. But along the way, very recently, within this last year, I decided I wanted to shift the gears towards the character that I don't regret making Yui, but I shifted gears towards Maria because I was starting to feel a lot less like Yui and more like Maria, who was the character I wanted to be like over the years. Yui is a very nice name. I do miss being called Yui, so I'm not opposed to people calling me Yui because it's a very pretty name, very short and sweet. 2 syllables are always the way to go.
Yeah, Bubble says Yui will always remind me of Yui Metal Desu.
I have no idea what that is.
No idea what that is either. Thank you, Bubble.
Time for Google.
Okay, so both names and characters have been a constant in your life and a constant evolution that has also been you. And you also have been evolving with them and growing and changing with both characters and names. That's amazing. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. They've both been with me for a very long time and represented different aspects of my life in their current moments.
Wow. Okay. And then I didn't send this ahead of time, but do you mind showing us like your model, like giving us like a zoomed out view and kind of giving us a demo? So we can see.
So that's the thing, right? This is not my full model yet because I did a subathon and raised money for a big brand spanking new model, which the artist is actually just about to start working on. But my partner, my lovely partner, actually has been getting into making VTuber models, and she whipped this one up for me while I was preparing for debut. And because I have this, I was actually able to debut as Maria, but she did not include legs.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
So you actually already see everything is the funny part.
Okay, but she did do RGB, and then
she did RGB. She gave me my mask.
Oh.
I have my shark tooth mask, as well as a mute so that people won't see me eating if I'm eating, because I don't have V-Bridger on this model, So my mouth will move if I try to chew, and it'll just keep opening, and it really annoyed me. Obviously, you can see I have RGB. My normal default color is let's see, can I turn it off? Okay, there we go. My normal default color is pink. How it's supposed to be is RGB is it is. Hi Nana. That's the lovely individual who made my model. That's my lovely partner right there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Hopefully work is going well. The RGB is the most important part.
Okay, so we're seeing this model, which was made out of love by a partner who wanted to give you something while you work to transition to something different.
Exactly.
Cool. Wow. So much like the characters you've been evolving, your model has also been evolving.
That is correct.
Wow. Peppa says, but watching VTubers eat is one of the coolest things ever. That was my first ever clip from my first VTubing stream was me eating next to a goldfish. True, Peppa. Actually, I've been... Oh, you just started tearing up. That's cool. Yeah, I will... There was this one time I was watching a Code Miko stream, and then I noticed that her model showed like the lip pucker that was like she was about to break down crying. And I had a moment of just realizing, oh shit, wow, that model's really impressive. You can tell she's about to start bawling her eyes out right now.
Yeah. I don't know what Code Miko uses for that, but I know as I get my next model, I'm gonna have access to a program called VBridger, which is like a more advanced like mouth rigging. So it'll actually be able to more finely adjust my mouth and represent me properly. It'll also have like a proper like tongue stick out toggle and some other stuff. I should be able to do cheek puff and everything, so I'll be able to be a lot more expressive.
Very cool. Very cool.
Also, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I do actually have all of my other models from my Yui era, if you want to see those as well.
Yeah, let's do that in the social media deck. Let's do that.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm here with you in your world. Where are we? What is this place?
So this is Mako's hideout. Mako is the gang I lead, the free running gang that also may or may not be starting a revolution. But you know, that's just news, fake news, right? Surely we're not committing mass crimes to liberate the city. No, not at all. I can't wink on command with this model. Hold on, wait, let me take my glasses off. Close enough.
There we go. It was so mild.
But we are currently hiding. We're currently in my control room. These monitors let me see all across Sector 18, which is our home, our city. That is the last standing bastion of humanity after the Great Reckoning. So theoretically, beyond these walls is the city, which is a cyberpunk dystopia. But beyond the walls of the city is just desolate wasteland. At least, you know, that's what I've never been outside the walls. And honestly, I don't believe our overlords. I feel like there could be something exciting out there. I don't know what, but I intend to go out there at some point. We were actually planning to do that before this whole revolution thing kicked off by accident.
Yeah, you just want freedom. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they committed some atrocities that I can't forgive. So now, we just gotta, you know, we gotta get our freedom. We're gonna fight the fight, even if it's just doing petty crimes for now to garner attention.
No, I didn't realize that Mika's a body hunter in your world too. You are gathering quite the gang. Very cool.
We're certainly trying. We've got all sorts over here.
Cool. All right. And then the next standard question we ask people is the hardware setup, and then we do the software setup afterwards. But can you tell us all of the hardware required to do a Maria Descent stream?
So I don't know how to access my PC specs. I'm very bad at that, but I do know that I have if you want to get technical, I do know that I have like a 30 I have a 3080
3080, very nice.
yeah, running a 3080. I'm working on getting a dual PC set up. Hopefully the some income that we're coming into will help us get there. 3080, 64 gigs of RAM, which was a
Oh,
recent
nice.
development because my PC kept crashing, and it still does, but that's beside the point. We're running an i7. I think it's like I think it's 12. I think it's like a 12 set, like 12,700. I don't know what those words mean. I'll be honest.
That's
I
okay.
shopped for the parts. Oh yeah, I Intel Core i7, 12th generation. Yeah, 12700.
Mm. Yeah.
But aside from that, I have a standard dual monitor setup. I run a Go XLR. I use an iPhone. What was it? An iPhone X, an iPhone 10. I think it's
Okay.
an XS. The bare minimum to do proper face tracking with an iPhone. And I bought that specifically for streaming as Yui and Maria back in the day because I don't use an iPhone. I still don't know how to use this thing. I just have it plugged in doing this one sole purpose.
Okay.
Um, I
What about peripherals? You said you had an XLR. What type of mic you got? Any Stream Decks? Any
so
webcams?
I have obviously I have my iPhone XS. I have my Go XLR, which is for audio control. I use an AT2020, which I've had for I swear almost a decade at this point, which is not the best mic to use for what I do. So I'm actually looking at getting a Shure soon. A Shure. I'm looking at getting a new microphone so that I can have better audio control. I currently use a 15 key Steam Deck to control my expressions as well as like run some programs for stream. And then I also I do a lot of console gaming specifically. I do some PC gaming, but I am a console
Okay.
gamer and collector. So I have two Elgato. I have an Elgato X, which is a newer one that isn't plugged into the PC. Like it's not like the one that's like a graphics card in the PC. It's just the external Elgato X. And then I think I have an Elgato S Plus that I use for potentially dual, like doing multiple games at once because I do a lot of shiny hunting. So having multiple consoles running at once can be very handy. With that, I have almost any game console you can think of that is like Nintendo, PlayStation, a tiny bit of Xbox. Sometimes I have duplicates. Like for instance, I have access to 3 switches that I can hook up to my my PC. 3. I also have they're all OLEDs, like the newer model of the Switch. And I'm planning to get the Switch 2 on launch day. I also have 3 Nintendo 3DS XLs that are rigged with capture cards, so I can actually capture handheld gameplay. As well as 1 original DS capture card. Those all cost far too much money to get a hold of, but now I have plenty of tools to do really whatever I want. And then I have a couple HDMI upscalers to use retro consoles for, like GameCube, N64, PS2, so on and so forth. Yes, I have a GameCube. I actually use for that one specifically. I have HDMI upscaler that I really like. It's called a Carby by Insurrection Industries, and it is a very nice little HDMI upscaler for a pretty affordable price, $80. You can put your own scan lines. You have to have the digital output port on your GameCube though, so it only works with the earlier models of the GameCube, not the later models of the GameCube. But it does phenomenal work. It's probably one of my favorite like little doodads that I have that I'm glad I listened to my coworker yap about.
Wow, you've got a lot of hardware. Like if you count all your consoles, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And you want
to go to a 2 PC setup, bro.
Yeah, because I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds, and I can barely run it at like 20 frames on stream with all the programs that I run for stream. I can run it fine off stream. I can run it at almost like a stable 45 to 55 FPS at high graphics, but on stream I can't even run it on the lowest setting without like tanking it. And same thing with like I can't play Marvel Rivals; it just crashes my PC if I stream it. But I can play it just fine off stream. Or Helldivers, same thing. It'll crash the program, crash the game, or crash the PC. So I'm looking at getting a secondary PC that runs all my streaming software as well as VTube Studios, so that I can just plug in a capture card into my PC and capture it from there. That way, I will hopefully eliminate a crashing problem, because I've always had a crashing problem with my PC with PC games. Even with like games like Hades or Raft, it doesn't lag as bad. It doesn't lag at all really with those, but it'll just randomly one day just be like, nope, and it only does it when I stream.
Yeah, Bippo's pointing out that encoding or doing streaming uses quite a lot of GPU.
Yep.
And also, Monster Hunter is very heavy. It's very heavy.
Very heavy, very unoptimized, but it's so fun. I'm currently Hunter rank 69, and I'm like, do I stop playing now?
69? I thought I was a baller at 24. Damn.
I have a hunt I'm really excited to do. It's an in-game hunt that drops like 20 of the like level 8 like artisan pieces. And I don't know what happened. That looks like it's like an online like cheated in one, but no, it just appeared organically in my game. I'm like, hello, hi.
Little Hollow's 72 or 74. If you're looking for a hunter friend, Little Hollow 88. He was actually he was helping me out the other day. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. Okay. So you have a pretty good gaming PC and a lot of consoles.
A lot of
capture cards.
I have infinite access to games. That's a fun fact.
Wait, how does that
work? It's called being an employee at a retro game store. And I can just and they have like anything as old as like NES or pre-85 consoles, or anything as modern as some like newer PS5 and a lot of Switch releases. So if that's why actually I'm starting to do like a throwback Thursday, is so that I can borrow games from the store as long as we have multiple in stock, and we have a really large inventory. So I can play just about any game I want to for free, except for newer releases or like indie releases that are on PC.
What's up, Sailor Mail? I'm hanging out with Maria Descent. Maria is telling me all about her world.
Yeah. All the games I have are salvaged from the Reckoning, because they don't really make games anymore after it. So everything here has been salvaged and restored.
And that's quite the impressive streaming setup. Can you tell us about the software setup? What are all the softwares you use to operate your stream?
Obviously, I use OBS. I use OBS to capture. Once upon a time, I used Streamlabs, but then I read into some of the practices they did, and I'm like, I'll just deal with the complications of OBS. And it's been fun to learn about OBS and utilize OBS. But I use OBS for streaming, obviously. I use VTube Studio to capture my model, which requires like the iTunes connection. I use the Twitch integrated throwing system to be able to thwack myself with stuff. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I can actually give an example of that. In other words, I use tits to throw stuff at me, and whenever I boot up the program late, it appears on the screen. So that just becomes a fun running bit. Big yawn. Don't do that to me. It's not turned on. I'm trying. I'll refund your point. Oh, actually, I'll just do it for free. I am trying to get it booted up right now because I didn't have it up. But I see you. Being sneaky.
Sneaky.
But so along with that, I've been using the Mix It Up bot for a lot of just a lot of control, and I've been trying to learn more about that because I also have access to StreamerBot, which is another like bot that you can use for like content creation, streaming, and like managing certain commands and stuff. And that one's a lot more complicated. And it hurts my brain to think about. So I usually have a friend of mine coach me through it because he's an actual coder slash programmer. So he utilizes it constantly. But Mix It Up is usually pretty straightforward in how it works. So I've been using that one a lot to do like, my daily crimes, to run a lot of my hotkeys and commands. What else do I use? I think that like just why does it not want to boot? But I think that just about does it for like the programs that I freely utilize. Those are all the things that boot up when I press a funny button on my Stream Deck, and it runs them all except for Twitch integrated throwing system, which just does not want to boot right now. Apparently,
That's okay. That's okay. But you do have interactivities on your channel, which is cool, which is always appreciated. Chat always enjoys causing chaos on people's streams, so very nice, very nice.
As is tradition.
Exactly. So what inspired you to start streaming on Twitch?
It's honestly been kind of like a very long-term goal. You could ask Nana, actually. My very first stream was, now it's booting. That was a super long delay. But my very first stream was a very scuffed little stream using an Elgato HD60, which if anybody or I think it's an HD60. If anyone knows what that is, that's one of the older Elgato capture cards that utilize what's it called? Oh, that's not how that works. That utilizes like a composite in, so I could like put retro consoles in it, and it just did not work. It was so bad, and my PC at the time was terrible. I tried to stream Splatoon for Nana, and it just did not work. But I tried and I failed, and then I got Pokken Tournament a year later, and I tried again and I failed, and from there, I ended up getting a roommate who wanted to really get into YouTube. So he and I started making like a little YouTube series, but which I no longer have access to, and I would not share it because it utilizes a persona I don't want to be associated with anymore. But it was fun. It was a good time. It was a way for us to hang out, and it was almost always like incredibly scuffed because either the microphone wouldn't work or it would capture with the microphone on the laptop rather than the Blue Yeti microphone we had sitting on the table in front of us. So we gave up then after we moved out and parted ways. Some years passed, and I ended up doing a really big move where I left home. I left my hometown. I moved with a coworker of mine and his partner and some friends of theirs. And in that move, I was feeling really, really isolated. So I had like a kind of newer PC that I had built a couple years before, since the first time that I tried to do like any sort of content creation. And I was like, I always had like Nana like over the years being like, hey, you should try streaming. Hey, you should try doing a YouTube thing. And so one day I just booted up, I think it was Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I had a webcam, but I didn't have it on me. I had it on a cardboard cutout of Tom Nook from Animal Crossing. And I just started doing that, and it was just, again, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, so I'm going to reel myself back in. It was just a lifelong like goal to start streaming or doing some sort of content creation because that's where I found a lot of comfort with watching like YouTubers and streamers. Was specifically, I want to be able to share my experiences like I got to experience stuff through them because I always had I was always like a few generations behind with consoles. Now I'm not, but like, people would start getting their like Wii or Wii U or their 3DS, and I would just maybe be getting like a DS Lite or a GameCube. So I never got to play any of the newer stuff when it came out. And so I'd watch people play it instead, and I want to be the person that does that for other people. I want to be the person that people can relax to enjoy and be able to experience a game firsthand like I used to when I was growing up.
Okay.
Uba, yes.
So you were already in the realm of content creation. You wanted to connect with a community, and Twitch gave you that medium that you were looking for. Okay, so that's how you decided. Very cool. I think you alluded to this, but can you tell us what your very first stream was like, and do you remember what you played or did?
Well, my very, very first stream was me test running Splatoon on the Wii U, back in the year like 2016. And I was on call with Nana, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So I won't really count that one, but that was technically the first stream that I ever did. Or I guess if you really want to get technical, it wasn't even on Twitch. The first stream I did was also for Nana, and she wanted to watch me play the No Mercy run of Undertale, because she did not have the heart to do it. So I did it for her, and I used the Steam. I don't know if this is still a thing, but you used to be able to like share your screen with Steam, like with another user on Steam, and let them watch you play. It was really laggy and not great, but that's how she watched me play Undertale, specifically the No Mercy run. And I got to the end and I fought Sans, and she didn't tell me she stepped away, so I had to go and fight him again. But for the first actual stream that kicked off my streaming career, if career in air quotes, if you count it as a career, but like my streaming saga, it was near the end of 2022 or 2020. I want to say it was like I want to say it was either like December like either December 9th or December 20th. And I just booted up Animal Crossing New Horizons. I was just exploring my island. I had my my webcam on a cardboard cutout of Tom Nook from New Horizons, because I worked at GameStop a year before that when Animal Crossing actually came out, and they let me take the cardboard cutouts. And I was just doing some island maintenance because I didn't know what else to do. I was very bad at like, having dead air, being able to like perpetually talk. I've gotten a lot better at it now, fortunately. So it was just usually me just like sitting there quietly playing Animal Crossing while trying to like chit chat and trying to vocalize. And I remember that specific stream, somebody came in and they were asking if like, oh, can I draw you? Which it was just, it was Tom Nook. But they were really excited. They asked me to make like a shrine for a raccoon. I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? I don't remember what the name is. I think I still have I don't know if I have the artwork anymore, but what they drew was it was like a little clip art of a raccoon that had a piece of toast on the head. And I thought it was really cute, so I made that my like streaming profile icon for ages. But that first stream, I had one random person pop in, which I was very thankful for. They did not come by a single time after that first stream, which is, I think, even funnier. But I think that like little bit of engagement I had is like what made me come back the next day and the next day, because it was just really fun to be able to talk with a person that was in, vibing, enjoying me playing a game just because I wanted to.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so you dipped your toes in the water and figured out that you actually enjoyed it and wanted to continue. That's cool. Were there any streamers or content creators who influenced your style or approach?
So when I just watched like a lot of random people. There was one content creator and streamer that specifically influenced like the just have like a calmer vibe and talk as you go. But that streamer has since been that creator has been so incredibly canceled in many ways. And so I'm like, I don't know if I want to say their name. I guess I can. They were a big part of my childhood. And then I didn't even know that they got, that they essentially got canned. They basically self-destructed on themselves. I didn't even know until like the big Among Us emergence back in 2020. No, it's not Doc, actually. I've never watched Doc, fun fact. No, it was a YouTuber called Cryotic. If that name means anything to anyone.
No, I do not recall that name. Anybody else?
I remember they were friends with PewDiePie very early on. But you know what? That's fine. We don't need to bring attention to them. But they just like they played a lot of horror games. They had a very calm and welcoming voice, and I think I expend a lot more like a bit chaotic energy than them. But they were a big influence for like how I wanted to do things and like why I wanted to start like making some sort of content, because they were one of the people that like I would put their video on and I would just like vibe out, listen as they went through like Haunting Ground or what was another one? Okami, Eve, a bunch of other games. They also are one of the reasons why I've always wanted to like start getting into horror games, even if I don't want to associate with that name at all, because they did some very not great things, but they were a big influence on me as wanting to become a creator. And then also like I really like the dynamics of like couch co-op Game Grumps style. So whenever I do a collab with somebody or like my partner, or if I have a friend over, that was how I originally wanted to start doing content. That's how like my roommate and I back in the day were doing YouTube videos, was almost Game Grumps style. And so that's one of the things I really like about like doing collabs and stuff is just the back and forth dynamic. Even if it's just with different people, it's not consistently the same person. It's still really fun, and that's some of my favorite type of content to do, because it just goes crazy. And also, it's a lot easier to talk to somebody else than like just like perpetual emotion of talking. But that being said, talking is a lot easier now. Like that, I have lovely members of like chat here with us right now to talk to and engage, and that's a big part of it's a interesting thing to dance around, because it's like, okay, I want to focus on the game and be able to like just talk about the game, but also engaging with chat is my favorite part, like being able to just talk with people constantly. And it makes it easier to keep going and streaming as well, to have somebody to talk back to, whether it's in chat or on call as you go.
Okay. Are there any current content creators that you hang out with or follow that also influence your current vibe?
I hang out with a lot of just like the various creators in the indie scene, and they're always a big inspiration for like the projects that they're doing. Like my friend Ophelia Valentine, she's gone and just made such an amazing path for herself. Very proud of her, and I love how she specifically engages with her community and consistently is able to have fun with her friends, bring them on, just have a good time. She's great. My friend Milo is recently started going. I don't know if I should be dropping a bunch of names, so I apologize. I can stop
That's
there.
okay.
But they've been they're the programmer that I mentioned that's been helping me out, and they recently started streaming full time, and I'm very excited for them. And I love the type they're specifically trying to move towards YouTube content. Like they stream and then make a video out of it and want to do YouTube content, and they're wanting to like change how like people interact with games, like either doing like interesting randomizer mechanics or like they're trying to put their programming knowledge to create new mechanics to how to engage with a stream or engage with a game that hasn't been done before. And he's great. He's my favorite orange-haired boy, and I love him. And then there's, I have a bunch of like artist friends that I wish I could do art. And they always like inspire me. But in like a greater spectrum, well, not greater spectrum, but like in a non-immediate circle of or I can elaborate on that more. I feel like a lot of my friends around me have been doing really amazing things, growing their content, growing their brand, just having fun with their community, and changing things up. Whether it's like joining like a VTuber group and doing projects with their friends there, or start revamping their art and making new model, or doing their own side programming projects that it can influence games and change how they interact with the like gaming landscape as a whole. I They always inspire me to try to do better, because I feel like I kind of fell off for a bit with how I had to spend a lot of time away, and I've been trying to like claw myself back in, and I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing. I've just been kind of coasting with it, because I used to just be that the shiny hunter that sat off to the side, and I was specifically a Pokemon streamer for a good year and a half, 2 years, and then actually most of my streaming career has been like specifically shiny hunting, Pokemon content creation, and I'll go through spouts where I just do a ton of variety and lessen the Pokemon, but then I always go back to Pokemon. And I have a hard time like anchoring down on something where I see other people like blossoming where in each avenue that they do, and it's just a really big inspiration. I'm on a tangent. I apologize.
That's okay. It seems like you mostly hang out in small communities, whether it's within the Pokemon community or just small VTuber communities. And that's that, you look around to all the friends that you have and get inspired by them, which is very understandable and awesome. So that's cool. All right, let's transition to our talk about your rebrand. So you rounded from Valkyrie to Maria Descent. We talked about how both characters that have been constants in your life, and they've been evolving with you and your content creation. But what does the name Maria Descent mean to you?
It means I would say it means a big change. It means I needed to try to get a grasp on what I was doing again, because what started this change was a lot of complications from like a big move, like several big life changes. That made me feel more and more detached from the previous name I was using, Project Valkyrie. I felt like I wasn't representing her well enough, that I wasn't the same person that I started the my like VTubing era as. I feel like I had changed a lot and was mispresenting this character I had in my mind. And as there's a lot of factors that go into that due to complications with streaming, with with the social aspect of like hate raids and stuff coming in for various degrees, people that I used to chat with that I no longer associate due to like either parasocial behavior or just parting ways because maybe we're too busy or don't get along anymore. I can't think of like any like actual creators that I don't specifically get along with that I had that issue with, but there's just been there's complications in human interaction over the years that have slowly influenced like how I perceive myself and how I wanted to present myself. And then with big life changes that were happening and me having to take a step back away from streaming as a whole, I for months I just sat there essentially festering, being like, I wish I could do more. I'm not doing enough. I'm not able to present Yui in the way that I do, which there's a lot of stuff I wanted to do with Project Valkyrie because she has a multiverse concept, and I used to write a bunch of stories with her, so I'd make a bunch of different versions of Yui. I wanted to do something with all of them and be able to expand on that project, and I just didn't have the means to. And then with like so little time to be able to put towards streaming and content creation and just trying to get by and survive in life, I just felt more and more distant with it. Then a few things happened. The straw that broke the camel's back happened. And I was like, what if I just changed? What if I just put Yui on the back burner and change to something that even that just feels more like how I feel currently? Which is what Maria was. Maria was the person that I didn't feel as guilty saying the word. Um, and or I could just be a little more I could just be more open, more relaxed, more free. Which I could do that as Yui as well, but I felt like the way that I was starting to act and engage because of how life was shaping me, it didn't uh, reflect the character that I thought Yui was. So we went back to the drawing board and we brought Maria Descent to the scene, who felt more liberated, more free, more carefree. She's just that line, a rebel without a cause, except she does have a cause. And she just feels more like myself, how I want to present myself. There's a lot of like avenues with like Maria's design as well that I can't reflect on myself in person because of me not feeling I have certain attributes or something. But like, so I am all the stuff that I wish I could do myself as a person, I am reflecting in Maria's character. And I just feel like I'll be able to do a lot with her going forward because again, she represents my development, my the changes I want to do and want to make, and just a more carefree attitude that doesn't let the world get her down, except it really does get her down. But don't tell anyone that. Don't tell the world that it is actually getting her down because it's fine. We'll get through it. We're stronger. We'll be stronger.
All right. Can I pull a thread?
Sure.
You mentioned the word hate raid. So throughout your streaming career, you've gotten at least one hate raid?
Yeah, whether it's like, whether it's like somebody actually raiding or it's like a swarm of bots. Very terms. So I am if you I can elaborate on them if you want, but
Sure.
I've had a fair share of them. And it all stems from one thing specifically.
And what's that?
I am a trans content creator. And that's where it all stems from. I made the decision one day to put transgender in my tags, and the very next day I just started getting swarmed with bots sending like incredibly vulgar messages, which they didn't really bother me because at the end of the day it's just someone trying to say like hateful things. I'm not as sensitive to those words as other folks are, but I'm always about like creating a comfort space for like my community, for that people can just walk in and feel safe. And the thing that bothered me was those individuals can be more sensitive to those like hateful messages that were being spread around, and that's what bothered me. So I had to get a pretty in-depth mod team just to like moderate my chat and be able to block out these like bots sending like vulgar words and messages, or even just like having terrible names. A lot of people were really sensitive to that because me being a trans content creator that's very active in like the LGBTQ plus community, I get a lot of folks from those walks of life there. And then if somebody comes in slinging those like vulgar or harmful words, they feel unsafe, or it can cause them to be upset, and I don't want that to happen. So I've had to enlist a pretty in-depth mod team to hyper focus on like people that, especially at the time, I think I had like a mod team of like 8 or 9 people to just kind of keep an eye on the stream as I would go in case somebody came in with like a weird name or started acting funky. I have somebody that is in my mod team currently that's very active in other people's communities as well to help keep everyone safe, happy, and comfortable. And those hate raids, they again started just because I put that tag in there. I endured them. It did eventually get me doxxed, which was very fun.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, nothing is more jarring than when somebody starts posting messages as like your grandmother in the chat, like your full grandmother legal name, or your former legal name. Because as I am a trans individual, I have gone through a name change, and it auto blocked their accounts. Nobody else got to see it, but I saw somebody
Attempt it.
posting in the chat as my former full legal name, dropping coordinates in the chat to the house that I grew up in, threatening to drop all this information on like a website called like Doxbin or something, if I didn't like delete my account and stop streaming.
The fuck?
Um, yeah, very exciting. Not to mention all the death threats and stuff that came with it. Um, but at the same time, it's like, well, you already have that information. You're already being, I don't know if I can swear or not,
Yeah,
but
you
you're
can swear.
already
That's
being an
fine.
so so I'm just going to use a censor button instead. Uh, and like, how can I be sure that you're not going to post it anyways? So I just kept streaming. I just kept going. And every so often it would randomly flare up again, whether it's because of the election or because of Hogwarts Legacy or just another thing that happened where the concept of like trans individuals came into light. I think it was the same person every time. They'd always come back with a wave of bots and try. Um,
Yeah, seriously, Miles.
it was
Miles says, bro, why do people need to be so ugly with their lives? Like, yes, like that's a lot of calories when you're dedicating so many calories just to hate. It's just, ugh.
it doesn't make sense because we're just trying to vibe. We're not doing anything. We're not even like it's not even like we're sure like we'll like make like remarks or jokes or like talk about our lives a bit, but it's not even like we're trying to like spread any propaganda or anything. We're just here trying to live our lives, and they're coming in here saying this and that about certain individuals, certain words, certain things that I will not say on stream. That like, what the heck? Why are you like this? Why did they? I swear they would like every day for like almost 2 or 3 months they would come in and start following with a new wave of bots. Except for I think like if I did it earlier, I think it was somebody that was in some sort of school. Like it might have even been just like a teenager or something. Because there are certain times like holidays they wouldn't do it, or like certain times of day that they wouldn't do it. But it was like clockwork, and we were pretty sure that it was just the same person every time. I have not seen them since I rebranded though. Like sometimes it would be like like a month or two in between, and then they'd randomly pop up. I have not seen them since I changed my name, so that's pretty cool.
That's nice. Also, with the stream together, I'll let you know that your ban or block list is active in the chat, so you're not going to see them
Yo,
popped
that's
up.
cool.
That's one of the nice things that Twitch did with the stream together, is it made sure that the communities that your block list and those people can't come in. Hello, thank you for the follow. Is this from your community, Case
Yes,
Doctor?
yes. He is a very good friend of mine, actually.
Nice. Well, thank you for telling me that story. I did, I do a little investigation on the guests, and I do some background stuff, and I did notice that your pronouns are she, her. You identify as very gay, very much lesbian, and I do know that you had, you're from the LGBTQIA plus community, and it's tough because you're not the first content creator that's come on my stream being from that community saying how much hate they got, like just for existing. Like you're not the first and you're not alone. So I can see where like even your journey between Yui and Maria is part of like a reflection of your evolution in real life, part of the battles that you're doing in real life, because you are correct, like even outside of streaming and outside of Twitch, it feels like a battle for you to exist as a trans person. So I commend you for building the community and the positive attitude that you have, because I can't understand what you're going through, because I'm not part of that community, but I am here to support you. So thank you for telling your story.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Sorry. I saw the thread and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this because I can tell there's a really deep-hearted story behind it, and I could
Yeah.
sense it. Yeah. All
I,
right.
I appreciate you asking. I don't mind share. I'm usually pretty open to questions and sharing because I feel like sharing my experiences with stuff like that kind of brings it to light to other people who may have been in or may be a part of the community and haven't had to deal with that or have dealt with it. And they
Mm-hmm.
can find some aspect of relation, or it's somebody that like may not be specifically a part of that community but is a supporter and an ally, and they can just kind of get more of a perspective inward of like what could be going on, what these people that they're friends with and support can deal with potentially on a daily basis. So I feel like lolling on it and trying to like hide it away won't accomplish anything. So I'm always open to like share my stories, experiences, in that regard, like any day of the week.
Nice.
Um,
Nice. All right. So yes, anybody from the community? Any gatos that I actually have? I think I have a handful of trans members, and I always try to find other people that they can connect with. So thank you for being a ally, and I will send them to you. So
Thank you. I will take good care of them. I
nice.
promise.
Uh, okay, let's talk about, because obviously Maria and Yui are different. Um, hmm. What are some major differences between Yui and Maria?
Uh, Yui is like a lawful good. Maria is chaotic neutral.
Mm.
um, so Maria and Yui specifically, like in these instances, like these streaming personas, while they are part of the same story, again, Yui's aspect was her entire shtick was like interdimensional travel, multiverse, the Yuiverse, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
She was the guardian of the rift, which the rift is a space between realities. Meanwhile, and so she could freely navigate these worlds, freely navigate these realities after her own had crumbled, possibly by her own hands. We don't know that yet. There's details there, and so she had like an outside perspective over everyone's life, everyone's story, and chose to get involved wherever she could, which also led to like the discovering of like various Yuis, various styles of Yui. I have one specific model that is like another Yui as a whole, rather than just a meme Yui, because everyone has a meme model at some point, whether it's like a Skrunkle or a plushie or something. But one of my Yui models is actually like a different Yui entirely, a different Yui from another reality that went through their own hardships that were completely different. Whereas Maria is, she is an individual who, at this point in like the streaming career and in the lore, Yui had failed. I actually have like some like we'll probably cover it in like a social media deep dive or something, but I have like a couple different lore videos or lore audios that kind of describe Yui's story and then the segue to Maria's story, where the Guardian has fallen and the Rift is trying to find a new Guardian to take her place, but Yui herself, she already went through her story. She already went through her hardships. She was at the climax of a war in her reality that was supposed to be like the closing of the book. But something happened and she was pulled out of her story into this new overarching adventure. Whereas Maria here, hi, hello, I'm Maria. I'm still going through my story. I'm still finding my purpose, and we are in the spotlight now because we are experiencing my story before my path can intertwine with what Yui was entangled in. So Yui was an overarching story piece that connected the realities, and I currently am a puzzle piece that is going to connect to that story.
Mm. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. I feel like everybody has that sense of self-discovery, and it sounds like Maria is still trying to do that as well. Nice.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Lots to do, lots to uncover, lots of baggage to go through.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the biggest challenges during this whole rebrand slash model change process?
So obviously financial is a big thing, right? Because I have to get like all new assets, all like because I already came up with the character. Again, for me, the character creation was the easiest part because I literally had to and just plucked the other one from the story. It's like, all right, it's your turn now. And getting her designed, like when you find an artist that you can click with, getting a character design is just a snap. And I've been very fortunate both with like Yui's creation as well as Maria's creation, where I happen to talk to the right artist who is able to perfectly convey and bring the character design idea to light. So shockingly, getting like the character design right was not a problem at all, even if I had to get like commission someone to completely design and recreate her. And so that part was easy. Coming up with the name was easy, and like just like the character design and the brand design aspect was not too complicated. I would say the hardest part was, which I believe I failed at, was the reveal and building up building up hype and excitement and anticipation, because nothing went the way that it should in the entire process. I think on my anniversary stream, July 31st, that was my second or third. That might have been my 3rd-year anniversary, actually. Or no, it's my 2nd anniversary, but my 3rd, like, July 31st streaming. That's what it is. Okay, thank you. I, like, announced that, like, I am going to be doing... Thank you, Case. I am going to be doing a rebrand. I'm going to be changing, and more details will come eventually. And from that, it took me so long to actually reveal any details. The only thing that I had given people was like a blinking eye gif of like transitioning between Yui and Maria. So all you can see were the eye color differences. And it wasn't even a rebrand necessarily. It was Project Iridescent, which was either our next project. It could have been another Yui. It could be a rebrand project. It could be any of those things. I think I announced Project Iridescent back at the very start of 2024, maybe even in 2023. I can't remember. It's been a long couple years, but the anticipation from announcing Project Iridescent to then conveying that it's going to be a rebrand, to then actually revealing stuff just took far too long because life kept getting in the way. I did a subathon to be able to raise money to afford the model that we're going to be using and to afford like stream assets and whatnot. And that subathon, it ended up being just over 2 months long. It was 62 days. Mind you, it wasn't 24-hour streaming, but I did stream every day for those 62 days. The complication with that was I was supposed to start it October 1st. It was supposed to be the Spookathon because Maria is going to be a ghost. Maria is a ghost girl with a shark complex. And so the Spookathon was meant to convey that. And September 25th. How many days are in September? Is it 30 or 31?
I think there's 31.
31? Either way, 5 or 6 days before the Spookathon was supposed to start, and I hadn't even planned anything really yet. I announced that it was going to happen, and I was still like life had just been really busy, so I just kept I was whipping stuff together last minute. And then September 25th happened, and I was in a car accident.
Ouch.
Fortunately, I was able to walk away, but I was in so much pain afterwards. I was in so much pain, so exhausted, and there was just a lot of complications that came with that, and both with like just constantly on the phone with people, having to still deal with work, having to deal with my body literally failing me, and like various doctor appointments. And so I started the spookathon a week late. And honestly, I should have just delayed it like indefinitely for the sake of my own recovery. But I had let I felt like I've let my community down so many times with like the previous year of streaming that because stuff just wasn't working, stuff wasn't falling through correctly. Even though people would have understood, I was in an accident. I was in a 3-car accident and got my car totaled. Um, so people would have absolutely been understanding, and they were understanding about me being late. I didn't even stop hurting until after the spookathon was over. So for the next 2 months, I streamed every day, even though I could barely sit in my chair, and just kept coming back every day. And it was a process. It was really difficult. I hope I didn't hinder my recovery process with it, but I really wanted to set out and do it, even if it made it so I didn't plan anything, and every day of the spookathon was just completely unorchestrated, random, like just flying by the seat of our pants. But it was still one of the most amazing experiences I had in my streaming career. It was so much fun. There's so much love going around with it, and people being supportive because again, just in like an accident and so on and so forth. But it was still the hardest part leading up to the rebrand, because if I didn't do the spookathon, I wouldn't have been able to afford what I needed to for Maria. But because of how the spookathon went as well, we had a delay. So we had that delay. I was actually originally planning to do my rebrand at the end of the spookathon, or like as part of the spookathon. I didn't expect it to go past 30 days, and I was commissioning some friends to whip together like a starting soon, a bunch of emotes. I was trying to get everything busted out in time for the end of the month to do the rebrand, because one of the rewards was an early rebrand where I would use this model that Nana whipped up for me, which she was still working on at the time, and I'd use whatever assets I had at my disposal. And it just kept getting further delayed. All the commissions I did, they just weren't getting done, or they were getting delayed, or they were getting canceled. And again, I was in so much pain that I didn't actually get to plan anything for the rebrand initially. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just rip the band-aid off and do it. And it just didn't work out. It didn't happen. Like everything was working against me to prevent it from happening. And the spookathon itself had such a slow start. And so I made it so raids contributed to the timer as well, just to keep us going, because I wanted to make it through October, right? That was the goal, is to just keep the timer going. Even if we didn't get to like any of the monetary goals, I just wanted to enjoy October with everyone and play a bunch of horror games, because I never really played horror games before. And it had that slow start, but we managed to, it was near the end of October that suddenly we had like a surge of activity. We had the surge of activity. We suddenly started blasting our goals out of the water. And I was like, oh no, I made a mistake. Because where we were barely struggling with like 4 hours after every stream, we suddenly surged past like 30 hours. I was like, oh no. So I reduced how much the raids were adding. And that didn't stop it. And it stayed consistently at over 30 hours for like almost 2 weeks at least. Like it just would not go down. The support was fantastic. It was amazing, and I'm very thankful for everyone. But I made so many mistakes, and even by the end, none of my stuff was done. So we couldn't even end off on the note of doing the early rebrand right then and there, because nothing was ready, nothing was done, and I was so disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when, and again, that brings back the most challenging part was, or the part that I was the most disappointed with, is the acts of the reveal leading up to the actual rebrand. It was so slow. It was one of those things where, like, think of it like Bethesda announcing Elder Scrolls 6 how many years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. And then showing nothing for it, but occasionally mentioning it, and the hype just kind of dampers down. That's basically what it felt like. It was just like, yo, what? And then it's like poking me with a stick. Hello, details, and then eventually it would just come up occasionally, and then people would be excited. But I felt like it was one of those things. It was out of my control. There was nothing I could do. I would give information or show stuff as soon as I could, but everything was happening to delay it each time, up until the rebrand actually happened, where it wasn't until the week before the rebrand that I stopped streaming and I changed my username, because I was afraid of somebody taking my username if I announced it beforehand, because again, issues with like hate raiders or like individuals in the past with like bad parasocial behavior. I was afraid that somebody would be bitter enough to take the username that I announced so that I couldn't use it. And then, we lead up to the day that we actually debut.
Nice. And even that, you're not in your final evolution yet.
Nope. This is what I have at my disposal, including my emotes, this model, as well as my background overlay, which I love my just chatting background. That was also made by Nana. That was made by my partner. Nice. So she was just like grinding away at all this while I was doing the spookathon and then working and dealing with all the car trouble. And she was just trying to get as many assets for me together to use, while waiting for like my actual commission stuff to come through.
Okay, so the debut was hyped though, and also Nana had a good comment that we missed earlier. Nana said that when we were lore building for Maria, I described Maria as Yui as foils to each other.
Yeah, they represent like very opposite things. Like I mentioned before, Yui is like a lawful good, Maria's chaotic neutral. Yui is like definitely like, a goody two shoes to say the least. She's part of the military. She was raised in a military family. She serves the public. She just wants to do what's right, but do what's right in like for the people, and do it in like the realms that are within the law, even if it requires changing the law. Meanwhile, Maria, she doesn't care. She's like, yo, that's up, and I'm gonna do something about it.
Save 2K. Nana says save 2K. Doing it myself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, which circles back to our question of, what is one of the challenges, and yeah, there's a financial aspect that a lot of people like don't think about when it comes to rebranding, like new emotes, new overlays, new models, like oof.
Which reminds me, I still need I should send him money right now. Somebody did a bunch of my emotes, and they recently sent me like the total and where to pay them at, and I need to send them money. So nice. I should probably do that.
Yep.
But he did a great job on the emotes. He did most of my emotes, and they just turned out fantastic. And now I need to get. What was that?
How did your community react to the change?
Everyone reacted super positively, except for I think one or two people. Like everyone was just like, yo, I love the idea. I'm gonna miss Yui. That was the common consensus, is I'm gonna miss Yui, but I'm really excited to see where this goes. There were a couple people that were just very very against it, which is unfortunate. But some people like Yui, people like the character concepts behind Yui and what she could do and become, and they may have thought I was throwing her away for something new or a new look when there is so much potential with Yui, which I agree, there is a lot of potential with Yui, but there's also a lot of potential with Maria. And I'm really excited for it. But overall, the consensus was glowing. Everyone was really excited. Everyone was excited for the pretty colors, the new punk look, for me to say the F word without feeling guilty, which I still feel guilty, but that's beside the point. People were excited for this lovely little rebel that we have on the screen now. But the other common consensus was like, they're gonna miss Yui. They're gonna miss Yui so much, which is why I still have like the Yui models and stuff around. And at some point, I might do something to bring Yui back. I don't know if I'll change my username again, but the idea is to eventually be able to use the concepts of like Yui and Maria interchangeably. But I want Maria to be the main focus because I mean I'm Maria. Part of the rebrand was the fact that Nana kept saying my legal name, so I made it easier for her. So now I'm just Maria. And it makes that really easy though.
If you could describe Maria's personality in 3 words, what would it be?
There's your 3 words. No.
I think you said chaotic
Just
neutral.
3 words.
Yeah, 3 words is all you got.
When I read the question, I was like, I thought it said sentence, so I had like something cooked in my head and I forgot it too now. So she is chaotic, good-willed. That's one word, right? Just put a hyphen in there.
Yeah, there you go.
And chaotic, good-willed. I'm overthinking. I'm so bad with character descriptors.
Fun.
I should have sat on this more. Nana, describe Maria for me. You're better at this. RGB.
RGB, there you go. That's a good one.
That works. Or actually, mischievous, determined, and again, at the end of the day, kind.
I'm busy. Okay, that's fine.
You're busy. That's fine. Get back to work.
Would you say this rebrand was more of a fresh start or an evolution from your previous content?
Ooh. So I feel like while it was an evolution for like, okay, this is to feel more like me, to make developments, to do what I want to do, I do feel like it was more of a fresh start because I feel like I have taken a lot of step backs by doing the rebrand. I feel like, from the rebrand, I made it so a lot of people can't find me anymore unless they really like look at like, oh, who is this? And then I'm still trying to get a grasp of what I want to do because I did this rebrand after being away for nearly a year. So I definitely think it's more of a fresh start to rediscover who I am and what I want to do in the content creation space.
All right, and then let's talk about the lore a little bit more. How did you come up with the ghost girl with the shark complex?
So Maria's whole thing is that I don't have a way to really display it right now. I'm still working on getting the assets to be able to properly display this. But Maria has a very special skill, and that is she can project her soul out of her body and possess objects. But when she does that, her body goes unconscious. That's beside the point. Her entire thing is that she is a ghost. a mostly ghostly girl, I should say. She is a ghost that is realistically too stubborn to die. So she still has her human aspect. And when people like knock her out or borderline kill her, her soul just ejects from her body, and she takes care of it that way. And she has a very she has a shark complex, and by that I mean she is the leader of a gang called Mako, based off of the shark, and she herself was mentored by like an actual shark woman, because Maria herself has been surrounded by multiple individuals during her life that have like animalistic traits. So like the members of my gang initially were Kenna, who was a lioness, part female, like a woman with lion characteristics, Feralis, who had wolf characteristics, and Atori, who had bird characteristics. And then Rachel, who was my mentor, was quite literally a shark woman. And that is who helped me get the gang together, who trained me how to fight, who trained me how to lead. And taking inspiration after her and being the leader of Mako, which is an acronym for Maria, so Maria Psycho, Feralis Alaric, so M-A, Kendall Kingsley, which is the K, and then Atori Nanabi, which is the O. It's very Ruby naming convention. Being the leader of Mako, she, despite not having any animalistic animal characteristics of herself, she dresses the part. She dresses with these shark characteristics, with all these jagged teeth, her shark hood, her tooth mask, in inspiration from my mentor, and to really set the impression for Mako as this intimidating force that is going to lead this revolution. So Ghost Girl, because she's just a silly ghost girl that refuses to die. She's too stubborn to die, with a shark complex because she is metaphorically a shark. She presents herself as a shark, despite not actually being a shark.
What's one fun or hidden detail about Maria design that fans might not know?
I mean, the RGB stuff is pretty obvious. I do, and the underside of her hair, if you can't see it with the hair that's sticking up, this is all stuff that people do notice is the thing. Maria has at least 14 piercings.
Oh.
So some of which are not visible.
Oh. So fans might not know that Maria has quite a few piercings.
She has. We'll show off the Skrunkle later. There'll be a moment later where we'll actually show off the other models, I believe. If I think you said the media deep dive.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So that's a fun thing. We have lots of piercings. But there's a bunch of like little details with Maria, and there'll be more once I get like the full model, as well as get like concepts of her ghost, because I really want to make an emphasis with like her ghost form, but I just don't have the capital currently to commission. I have an artist that I want to use, and I know how I want it to look and how I want it to act. I just don't have the means to do it yet.
All right, and if Maria had a theme song, what would it be?
So I actually did commission custom music for Maria, but for like an actual, like if I listen to a song, there's a song that I always think of when I think of Maria, and it's what is it? It's Psycho no Scream by Demon Dice. I believe Said I No Scream. And I always think of that song when I think of Maria.
Very cool. All right, let's talk about content creation and streaming. what kind of content excites you the most to create?
Uh, I haven't gotten the content creation thing down quite yet. I love doing collabs. I love being able to have my VTube studio crashed 1 second.
That's okay.
But I love the concept of collabs. I love being able to I don't get to do them very often anymore, unfortunately. It's very sad how few collabs I get to do. I miss my friends. Um but collabs were always one of my favorite concepts, being able to have our communities overlap and just have a good time with each other. But horror games have been one of my favorite ones recently because I never
Mhm.
got to experience horror games when I was younger. Um, Experienced plenty of horror movies to almost a traumatic degree, but uh, that those have been some of my like most enjoyable as of lately. Is specifically like streaming horror games, me getting the crap scared out of me. Um, it's been a riot. I do eventually want to start like actually doing like producing like YouTube, even if it's just shorts contents, like just fun clips from the moment. But horror games as well as I love Pokemon at the core of my being. So I always love doing like shiny hunting or doing special Pokemon events, which again is usually just shiny hunting. I don't get to do Nuzlocke too often, but it's always a very special case when I do get to do some sort of Pokemon challenge, especially if it's with a friend. Like if I can do a shiny race like I do with my friend Hazy, those are possibly the most fun streams I ever get to do.
Mm. Wow. So quite the variety. Quite the variety. Okay.
We try. We try. We do love our variety content around here.
How do you keep your content fresh and engaging for both new and returning viewers?
We're supposed to keep it fresh and engaging. I didn't get that memo. um, Stream interactivity is a big thing. That's one thing that I was especially wanting to do with like the change to Maria is like make more interactable options with stream, even if it's just like a daily check-in and stuff as like just like oh you made it here, you get like a little bit of acknowledgement with that. And then of course having like the throwables or like special redeems where like somebody can take my hair away
Oh shit.
or um one that people I don't think have quite noticed yet is they can banish me from the stream. So, but I think being stream interactivity is a really fun aspect that people always really get to enjoy.
Toys.
Um,
They love their toys. Yep.
Toys is always super fun. Sound alerts are always great.
Oh, pipe noises, Bay, says Case Doctor.
And then just again, I've been trying to stem into a little bit of variety. Like I have consistency where I still do like my 1 or 2 Pokemon streams a week. Because at my core, I am like a PokeTuber. But I've been again stemming into like variety content, like especially like going into like the retro and the horror scene. I've seen a lot of engagement with that because people don't really have the chance to play or stream retro games anymore. Like sometimes, at least not without like people can emulate it. But I think the fact that I go out of my way to use like original hardware and find a way to get it to work and showcase like old classic games that people really enjoy, I think people really appreciate that. And then horror is always a certified banger. Horror is always really fun. People just like seeing people get scared. And then also a big thing with the horror is like a lot of people can't stomach playing horror games themselves.
Yeah, this cat included.
But Silent Hill was so fun.
I know. You and I actually met because of horror. Silent Hill 2, man.
I literally popped in during you doing the final boss fight. That was fun.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, I gotta go. I'm a see myself out this way.
Yeah, but that was still fun. And that game was phenomenal. What has been your favorite stream moment since becoming a Marine?
Oh, let's see. Well, again, the subathon has been, but like it wasn't like an individual moment, I suppose. But like the subathon has been like the favorite thing I've done as a streamer. But that was like encapsulating so many moments.
Yep. It's still a huge milestone. It was a huge milestone.
It's
Over 60 plus days online every day. Bro.
It was exhausting, especially freshly after a car accident. I guarantee you, for over half those days, I was like elbows locked on my desk or on my chair or like slumped over in like the back of my chair, just holding the controller, hoping for the best. Because like it hurt so much just to be sitting upright.
Oof.
Like I don't think I've ever like during the subathon, like I talked about like being like in pain and stuff, and like we'd talk about it like occasionally, but I don't know if I expressed like how hard the subathon was to do. Because if I wasn't streaming and I wasn't at work, and like even at work, I had to like go sit in the back and I would just process stuff slowly. If I wasn't streaming or I wasn't at work, I was just sleeping. That's all I was doing. It was very, very fun, but the subathon. I'm trying to think of like a specific moment. Aside from like like hunker down more than an event, like the 24-hour stream I did for the rebrand, that was amazing. The subathon, that was amazing. I remember my very first 24-hour stream. There was a moment where like people were, they were being incredibly supportive out of nowhere, and they were saying kind words, and I like broke down crying like 20 hours into my stream. That's some of people's favorite moments.
That's okay. I mean, that's a huge, like, would you ever do one again?
A 24-hour stream?
Oh,
or a subathon?
Yeah.
I could be convinced. Like, I want to do another subathon, solely for the fact that like I want to do it. I don't think I did it wrong, but I want to do it right in the terms of myself. I want to plan it properly. I want to not be dying during it. I want to like.
I want to see another subathon. Says Case Doctor.
Like I want to be able to like take what I learned from my subathon and apply it to another one. I'll probably make the same mistakes I did before, where like I have like the start of it have like a higher yield than the end of it, where like people can do less for more time, because that's how momentum gets going. And I think that was actually like a great way to go about it. If I was more focused on the event itself than the money that would come from it. Eventually, like, it was all to go towards the new model and the resources for the rebrand. But at the end of the day, it was more so for the event itself. So like I made it so that like if you spent something, it would have a bigger yield than like by the end of it, where I was trying to get it to end. Or even like with raids, if people like for every viewer somebody brought in, it would add like a minute or two to the timer, or 30 seconds to the timer. So then like if a friend of mine that had like a larger community raided, suddenly it would jump up by like 5 or 8 hours, and I'm like, oh no. But I think that was like a great way to just like get established and get going, because I still had stuff that I wanted to do. I had stuff that I wanted to play, and I still wanted to hang out with everybody. And I think I would still do that for the next subathon, where there's lower yield in terms of like like currency and donos, but there's higher results for like the time added, so that I can spend it with the community, because I love spending time with my community.
Yep. Nana says, my favorite moment was breaking her on her birthday. Yui debut with gift art.
Yes. So Nana, she was at a convention when I debuted as Yui, and she she commissioned an artist at the convention to do an IRL art piece of my model.
Oh wow.
And she wanted to get it she wanted to share it and get it submitted to me before I ended stream.
Mm.
And it was adorable, and it brought me to tears. It was so cute. It was so precious.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any dream collaborations with other VTubers or streamers?
I don't think I do. Like, obviously, like, it would be like really cool to be like, oh, I have like, like, obviously I want to be able to do more with my friends. But I don't do a lot of interaction outside my immediate friends, and they are folks that I can usually, like, as long as I have enough time in advance, I can be like, hey, would you like to do this one thing? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And I appreciate them immensely for that. But I obviously, if I could somehow get in, like, I remember I got really mad at my friend the other day because he lives in Tampa, and he went to a concert the other day that Moist Critical went to. So he got to take a picture with Moist Critical, and that's like the one moment that I ever felt like any sort of like envy for meeting a person.
Yeah.
So like obviously it would be like really cool if somehow I could get like in a circle to interact with, like, like some of the like very like large creators I watch, like Critical or Alpha Rad or Jaden. But I don't even know what I would do in that circumstance. That's like not even so much more of a dream. That's more just like, oh, like that would be really cool. I can't think of any, honestly, that I would be like, that is like an aspiration I want to make happen. I want to be able to do something with this individual.
No, it's a dream.
But
It's a what you would fantasize about doing. So yeah, I'll put you down for a Moist Critical gaming collab.
let's go. Wait, hold on. I have something for you. Oh, I think a spider just ran across my desk.
Oh, scary.
Hold on. I got a treat for you right here.
There you go.
Not me having this. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Helping out the homies. Nice.
Let's make it happen. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.
That's pretty good.
It's a redeem on stream, actually. It's just like Moist Critical says, and it just slaps the face on me in like a very it's almost I don't know what to compare it to. It almost feels like the like South Park, the Canadians in South Park, where like their heads just like kind of bobble around. That's what it feels like, because it like locks it directly onto my like moving lips, so it just spazzes out. It's fun. It's a good time.
I gotcha. Oh, Halo the Reach is saying hello to me in the Mikoverse. What's up, Halo the Reach?
Hello.
Alright. I'm gonna turn down the Mikoverse volume because Halo the Reach, you are hot mic'd. I'm gonna do sound. Mixer options. There we go. Alright. I think. Alright. Let's do. Let's talk about your community and engagement.
Okay.
How would you describe your community in one sentence?
They are the most welcoming community you could ever come across. I don't know if you want me to elaborate. That is the one sentence. Like, they are the most welcoming community. I've had so many people say that when they come through, when they raid, or when they come in through chat, is that the community just feels so cozy and warm welcoming, which is exactly what I want. I want our community to be just so welcoming and open to other people joining it, make them feel at home, make them feel like that they've been there for months or years. And I think we're really good at doing that.
That's cool. That's cool. What was one of the most memorable interactions you've had with your community?
So off the top of my head, the most memorable interaction I can think of was, again, it was from my it's always from like an event, right? And this is from my debut, my first debut, my UE debut. And I had never seen like a viewership go over 10 before. And there were, at the start of stream, there were like, it's the fastest my chat has ever moved still to this day. And it was all the friends I had made in the VTuber community preparing for the debut, and they were all there. Like, there were 50 plus people there, just talking, showing support, sending love and well wishes. And it was so overwhelming. And but it was like in the most positive way. I remember one of my mods was like, "Do we need to put on slow mode?" I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm trying to keep up, and people are getting lost in the chat. And I'm just trying to welcome everyone in, including like the artists, like various artists that worked on my stuff up to that point. And the community, that's actually where a lot of them got to meet each other as well, and overlap and stick around and say hello. But they completely derailed the start of my debut stream because they made a hype train happen during like the first, not even like I don't even think we got fully through like the ad that I played to, like make it so that there wouldn't be any pre-rolls and yada yada yada. They already had like a hype train going, and so like I felt bad. I had like a whole thing that I was gonna do where I was like gonna play a video, like a lore video, where I was talking and doing an introduction, and then jump into the actual presentation and saying hello. But I wanted to thank people. I wanted to thank people for showing up, saying hi, showing support. And it was also so hot. It was so hot that day. I was in a 3rd-story apartment, and with no AC. It was over 100 degrees outside. So I'm just like sweating, getting overwhelmed. So hot, because like when there's a lot of people talking and I get like really engaged or like alerted, my body gets really hot, and it's already really hot. And I'm just getting lightheaded at the very start of the stream. So I pop in, say my first words. This is the first time that they've actually had, well, I've joined like people like on collabs and stuff, but it's the first time they've seen like the model in motion and everything. And I pop in, I say thank you to everyone, but I'm already like in tears at the very start of my first UE stream from just the turnout of our like warm and welcoming community. I couldn't tell if it was tears or sweat at that point, because I was melting.
Just melting.
Both emotionally and physically.
Wow.
And that like very first introduction is like ingrained in my memory. As are like some like very like fun collabs where like my community got to overlap with others, like collabs with Ruby Cafe and Art of Gabby, where like our friendships blossomed. Or with Asvidi, where we were doing like a duo collab, and our communities first like entangled within like we debuted within a week of each other, and we just got to overlap, engage. Our communities basically were jumping back and forth between each other's chats and getting associated with each other. And that's where I met some of my like best friends in the like VTubing space, is from these collabs, from our communities being so like welcoming and engaging with each other.
Darn, this next question sounds like you may or may not have already answered it, but what's one thing your viewers have done that made you feel made you emotional or proud?
I am always proud of how, again, they make people feel welcome and at home here, but how they just expand into other bubbles. They, what I have always strived to do was not create just a sense of community in my space, but like among like the friends that I have it so like, I've always been I've always seen myself as more of a place that acts as like a segue for people to meet other people.
Because that's true.
So I always love seeing like members of my community go and give, a warm welcome to like somebody we raid or go support a friend of mine. And then I go in there another random day and I see those same people that I sent over at one point chatting in their chat, engaging with the streamer, becoming like regular viewers and friends of theirs, or seeing friends of mine in the community. I connected them once because of a collab, or I mentioned something, or a friend of mine mentioning another person, and I go chat with them, and it always just melds so seamlessly. And I feel like the community that I have, what I'm very proud of, is just how they create an overarching sense of community. They always make people feel welcome in their space or in another space. They're always so kind, always so again, welcoming. I'm sounding like a broken record at this point. And they just spread. They continue to meet new people. They continue to spread those same good vibes, and it always loops back around. And I find out that like a friend of mine that I made 3 months ago is now best friends with somebody that I introduced them to once, or did a collab with once with them together, or had mentioned and brought them a certain direction. It just makes me really happy. It makes me really happy to see my friends and community grow and interact with each other, even if it becomes more of somebody else's community at that point. I'm just happy to have that my community played a role in that.
That's cool. Yeah, you have a good one. Have you ever streamed on Kick? Side question. Or watched?
I have not. I have only ever streamed on Twitch.
Or ever seen the Kick community. Sorry, I had to take a moment to go ban. So I do multi-streaming. And I've been trying to support the competition. I am a firm believer competition is good. Monopolies are bad. Our Kick is just I had to take a moment to go ban a chatter over there that said some pretty sus stuff, so I apologize to anybody that saw that chat go unmoderated. Went ahead and took care of them. Sorry about that. You wondering about that? Yeah, sorry about that, Case Doctor. They're gone. They're bad.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love for VTubers on Kick. Not that I've noticed, anyways. We're supposed to just go into our category and stay there. And every once in a while, either a bot or a hater comes in. And that's about it.
My like mental association with Kick is like I do believe that competition is great, and I haven't multi-streamed. I've thought about multi-streaming before, but I'm still trying to get a grasp on what I want to do before I even try doing something like that. But I feel like a common consensus with Kick has always been that like that might be where people who have already gotten kicked off the other platforms go to find the most success.
Yeah,
that's just like, I think that's just even though I'm sure that's not true, because you're multi-streaming on Kick, and but I think there's just like what's the word?
It's got some bad connotations, some bad juju. I don't know what you said.
There a stigma. Yeah, that's a stigma that Kick has, is that's where like either people that got paid a huge contract to go over for, and that's like those are their flagship streamers, or that's where the problematic folks go to stream to do chaos, like Johnny Somali and whatnot go, and be the menace that they're meant to be without anything to hold them back.
Yeah,
That's at least the stigma that Kick has.
yeah, I'll agree with that. YouTube's a good option because it essentially makes an automatic VOD storage you don't have to worry about. Like Twitch, it has it to where like, oh crap, now you gotta like be cognizant of how many hours of footage you have. Like the nice thing about YouTube is like you don't have to worry about migrating VODs.
Yeah, I've thought about multi-streaming to YouTube solely for the VOD storage because I have lost so many VODs because I forget to transfer them over. I'll do my best to be on top of exporting over to YouTube, but I mean, of my subathon, for instance, I lost 2 days of it because I wasn't in time for transferring VODs over. Fortunately, I don't think there were any like specifically important days. Like they weren't the Silent Hill, they weren't Alien Isolation, they weren't anything crazy that was going on. They weren't the first or the last day. But it still makes me sad that those are just gone because that was the like most memorable thing I've done on stream, and I'll never know what those were again.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about your future plans and growth. What are your goals for 2025 as Maria?
So obviously get the proper rebrand kicked off, become the full Maria that I'm meant to be. I want to actually start even if it's just like editing down clips and putting them on YouTube or TikTok or something. I really want to start branching on to at least another platform to just either if it's for the sake of like preservation of the content that I make or to reach new people. I think that would be a great step forward. I really want to get some manner of merch established, not even for like a monetary aspect. That's fine. I don't care if I don't make anything from it, but I'm sad that I didn't really get to get much out for Yui. There's a couple mugs floating out there in the world that some people have won or bought, or some magnets. But for Maria, I really want to get like, access to like proper commercial rights and get something out there. Just for the sake of having something that people can wear and represent or just keep as a little memento. That's something that I've always wanted, and I think would be very, very special. And I think by the end of the year I can try to reach the goal of like a 5K following. I think that would be phenomenal. We've had a real slow growth since the rebrand, so that might not be possible, but we managed to hit my 3K goal for last year. Actually we kind of like went above and beyond and like got that up to 3.5K like very abruptly, which I'm very happy for. And I mean, there's always the milestone of like trying to hit partner, but I don't think I have the momentum to be able to. I don't think I have the momentum to just be able to hit partner in general. But that's an in-game goal always, right? Didn't get it last year, so let's try it for partner this year. Let's make it happen. I think once we get like the full rebrand underway, where like I have my big Maria model, have like all my emotes ready, possibly actually have like the external factor of like spreading my content, we might actually be able to make the momentum to do it. If I just went with the subathon and I didn't stream anything after that, I might have been able to apply for it because we managed to hit all the milestones during the subathon.
Oh shit.
But I can't consistently keep it up though, is the problem. So I just want to become more consistent and build the community and find a way to spread out my content just for the sake of storage and getting seen a bit more and hit that 5K goal. Then there's like some like more outlandish things that like the partner or like getting merch. I think what I have some specific plans that I have cooking up for later this year that might help us actually achieve the goals. But my current goal is to achieve those plans.
Okay. I think, yeah, every affiliate, I think that's, or I would say a lot of affiliates have the goal to always
Yeah.
constantly work towards partner. And
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing
Mhm.
I mean it's special, but it's like nothing original. I want to start like actually like finding a way to like do like build like do community stuff like tournaments or proper like community nights is something I want to like re-establish the sense of community to the point that like our Discord becomes like more active and everyone will like engage with each other more freely and not just like under the veil that is a Maria stream. I want
Mhm.
to like create a stronger sense of community that goes off of Twitch.
Mhm.
um I think that's one of the bigger things that I would like to do that seems um uh like achievable, even if it means like doing some sort of tournament or like giveaway or like getting people to work together towards something.
Gotcha. Uh, where do you see yourself in 1 year as a VTuber and content creator? Like a year from now, where do you think what do you think you'll be doing?
I think there's a good chance that I will be exclusively a Pokemon streamer again because it
Okay.
always happens.
Mm.
Listen, as soon as Legend, this is less than a year from now, but as soon as Legends ZA comes out, that's all I'm going to be doing is Pokemon again because
Pokemon.
that's just what I am at my core. But
Mm.
um, I mean, I see myself having a more refined schedule, a more like consistent basis. Hopefully, what I would like to be doing is be in a better financial space so that I can actually get back to streaming full time while having like my job to uh, hit my monetary needs for like bills. But I used to do have my schedule split up perfectly to have like, oh, I have 30 hours at work and then I also have like 30 to 40 hours of streaming. And I want to get back to doing that. And that's what I can see myself doing once um assuming nothing crazy goes on.
Mhm.
I can see myself doing full-time streaming again. Um where yeah, sorry, my like brain suddenly fried.
That's okay. That's okay. We've been going a while. So I'll ask you one more question and then we'll open it up to the community for questions. What's one skill or content area you'd love to improve on this year?
Social media in
Social media.
general. I mean, I sent you a message about it, like, oh, I'm not going to have anything for you to do on the social media deep dive. I am so bad with engagement that is off of Twitch. Like,
Mhm.
I get on Twitch, I can yap, I can go all day long, nothing holds me back. The moment that I go offline, I'm so bad at keeping up with people. I'm so bad at posting on social media. I'm so bad at engaging with the Discord. I'm trying to get better. I am getting better about chatting with people, being on the Discord, hopefully making schedules more properly. At least making them now. But I cannot grasp consistently doing stuff on social media for the life of me. And I don't know why. I don't have like a memer mentality where I can just like post the first idea I have with an image and like post at the start of the day or schedule it out. I just can't do it. And I look at like all my friends who like constantly engage and are able to post stuff every day, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I need you to teach me the ways, please and thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable. That's very understandable. Okay. You froze for me.
Oh,
Don't
I
don't
think
know.
I was just staring. Hello? Oh, did everything freeze? Oh, everything froze. Interesting.
Yeah, that's okay. We can still hear you
Here.
though. We can hear you though.
Let me see about like. Oh, that's weird. Because on my end, everything's moving.
Okay, let me. There
Here,
we
let
go.
me.
Nope.
Oh,
That's fine. Had to
I
refresh.
already did the. I already did a thing. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I had to refresh my screen. There it goes. And then let me go full screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, at this time, I want to open it up to the community for questions. Arigato. Oh yeah, do you have a name for your community? Are they like
So I don't
re-
I don't have like an individual like community name. Like we've talked about like doing like shark bites or seekers or something, but the community itself is Mako because that's the name of the
Mako?
gang, Mako.
All right, does the Mako gang have any questions for your streamer or any gatos? Anybody from the Ninja Gato community have a question for this streamer? While you guys type that up, I will ask a silly question. If you could travel anywhere and money or time off was not a concern, where would you go?
Listen, I am an anime girl on the internet. Where do you think I'm gonna go?
Let me guess Japan?
No, it's Antarctica. Yes, absolutely Japan.
Absolutely. That's a very common answer.
Like it's very straightforward. I also really want to go to Australia at some point.
Mm,
Even if there are the big spiders and stuff there, even if everything wants to kill me there, I just see it as a challenge. But I want to go to Japan. I want to be able to take my partner to Japan. I feel like it would just be a phenomenal experience, both in like the big city of like Tokyo or in the or like in the outside in nature. I think both of them would just be absolutely phenomenal experiences.
nice.
Uh,
All right. Shout out to the research stations at Antarctica. Nice case. Pokemon Worlds. That's true. No.
Pokemon World is going to be in Anaheim this year, and Nana and
Oh,
I are planning to go. Even if we
nice.
don't have the money to do it, that's what the power of credit cards is for.
Oh no. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Lil Hollow
do as
does.
do as I say, not as I do.
Yep. Lil Hollow says, what was your favorite controller out of any of your consoles?
I'm a GameCube girly at the end of the day. I love the GameCube. The GameCube is amazing. The controller setup is phenomenal. Um it is the GOAT. It is the greatest of all time. Um but I also really like the Switch Pro controller too.
Yeah, I have seen the commentary that the original GameCube is definitely the GOAT, especially when it comes to like Smash Brothers.
Yes, absolutely.
Wait, did you like? Are you a seasoned Smash Brothers player?
I once upon a time I was like a seasoned Smash Melee player. But I have no skill in it now. I try to pick it up and play now and I just fumble. I drop the ball so hard. I have lost all the skill that I developed many, many years ago.
The motor skill, nice. I'm sure if you just like spend some more time, but who's got that when you're a streamer? Spare time.
Oh
That's not
yeah,
a thing.
imagine having time.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any other questions from the chat or communities? Come on. I will ask you if you could have a superpower. Any superpower, what would it be?
Honestly, like teleportation would be so nice. Just the concept of travel is the thing that like inhibits the most. So just being able to freely teleport, or even like with a cooldown, or like some speculation of being able to teleport, I think it is superior to flying in that regard because you can get to anywhere you need to be without having millions of bugs splatter on your face. But I would honestly really love to have the power that I currently have as Maria with the soul projection, being able to fly around freely as a spirit without any concepts of physics, and then also able to possess things as a poltergeist and bring it to life in the most animated way possible. It's great, and I think that would just be a really cool power.
Teleportation and flying are two of the most popular responses I get. And of course, Japan. And,
of course, I am basic.
And Nana says, "Who's your Smash Melee main?"
I was always a Samus player. I used to know some of like the neat Samus like glitches that you can do with like the long range grapple or the super wave dash. I can't do the super wave dash consistently anymore, but I can still usually do the long range grapple.
Long chain, super dash, good stuff, says Caves Doctor. Nice. Okay. All right, at this time, we're going to say bye to YouTube. So we're going to do the HIYTs in the chat. So the way we did it before, all caps HIYT. We'll say bye to YouTube, make a Twitch emote waving to the YouTube. But let's go ahead and say bye to YouTube. All right, let me get my overlays going. Hey, what just happened?
Look at Case coming in with all the love.
Case Doctor 20 gifty boys? What? Case must have really enjoyed that interview. What the fuck?
Case is having a good time. Case is like is a goat. He's amazing and always so supportive.
Yeah, so Case, on my project, you saw those floating cubes. Those spawn in as gifts, and then within the Miko Brewers project, there was a bunch of presents that spawn on the floor. Case Doctor, thank you so much for all the gifty subs. You just made me reach my sub goal. And now I have to do a baking stream where I bake mayonnaise cake.
Oh, that sounds horrid.
So, okay. So what I've heard is actually good. Is what I've heard, because apparently it's like a Depression era recipe. And we're at 111 got those. What the hell? Thanks Maria for the kind words, but howdy. I excite for cake. Yeah, apparently mayonnaise cake. I learned it's a recipe from a guy who goes through like Depression era recipe books, because like sugar,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
they have like a whole YouTube series to it.
Yeah, he's got like that retro fridge and the retro kitchen. He's really loud and really animated. Yeah, that dude, I have his cookbook and he has mayonnaise cake. I'm going to try it. So, and now I have to.
Some of the stuff that he makes, you wouldn't think sounds good. And then you see it done and you're like, that doesn't look too terrible, honestly.
Yeah, but I've also seen him make Spam cookies and then him take a bite and said, why did somebody think that tastes good? Like, so I'm afraid.
I've seen that one too.
Yeah. So thank you, Case Doctor. Thank you for all the gifts and the subs. We were about to say bye to YouTube, and I was just like, what the hell happened? What the hell just happened?
The biggest mic drop. Case is very good about doing that, honestly.
Damn.
You know what? Let me do this too, because don't worry about me. Feel free to say the goodbyes. I'm just gonna I'm doing my part.
What?
I'm doing my part.
The song of my peoples.
Rin, come here. Thank you. Oh my god. Ow.
Oh no, Little Hollow's playing his version. I'm gonna have to tell the story after this. I'm gonna get up for this. I'm gonna get up.
Oh, I can't hear it. But that's fine. Oh, my cat's getting mad at me.
Oh, it heard the song of the peoples. That's why it's getting mad. It heard the song of my peoples.
She's also mad because I picked her up to bring her to the screen to make her meow on screen.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story in just a little bit, but we're jamming out here.
Just jamming out, vibing out.
Jiving. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I can put on a fun model that's really easy to vibe out with. Hold on, if you'd like to see.
Sure.
Let's see. It is this one. Case asked for this one earlier.
Oh, nice. Nice. Sprunkle.
It's the Skrunkle.
And then I can also dance in the Mikoverse pretty easily. There we go.
Yeah, it's a good time. We're just vibing out, rocking out. Alright, I need to hear what this sounds like. I'm so curious.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
original.
and then I heard myself talk and I had to turn it off.
Ah, sorry. Gotta back it up. Back it up.
Oh, I see you back there. I was so focused on the big orange cat that I didn't notice
Yes, the tuxedo cat dancing.
the tuxedo cat dancing. So silly.
Yes. So you have a cat. Well, technically,
I do have a cat.
right now. Technically, you have two because I'm in your world right now.
It's
but
true. It's true.
Does your cat do the midnight zoomies, like the late night scurry around,
Sometimes.
and then like meow in the middle of the night? Well, like 2 a.m, like the deep meows.
Not so much. Not so much. She'll get her zoomies again around like 11 or 12. But it'll be while we're still awake. And she'll like bolt around. She's also like 11 years old, so she's starting to get old.
Yes. Well,
So the zoomies are less and less frequent.
so yes, my community challenged me to sing one time on stream, and I was like, fine, I will sing the song of my people, the Midnight Zoomies, where you run around all crazy, and then you come back, and then you meow your heart's content while your human is trying to sleep to annoy them. So that has been the song of my people, and then that became a clip that we used on my channel, and then a community member by the name of Lil Hollow made a DJ remix of it. Like, he's a music composer, so yeah, he just played it for us. So that was pretty awesome, Lil Hollow. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies, and also Case, thank you for the gift subs. I appreciate you all.
That's amazing. I love that actually.
Nice. All right,
Because I know exactly what you're talking about. She doesn't do that anymore, but she used to do that.
Mhm. Yep. All right, let's try again. Let's see if we can say bye to YouTube one more time. HIYT. All right, let's say bye to YouTube. Thank you. In case you've been immortalized in this YouTube video as a Giga Chad, everyone's gonna recognize it from here on out. So,
The true Giga Chad.
true. All right. All right, let me get my stream ending. Where's my stream ending? All right, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to link all of Maria Descent's socials below. So make sure you go follow, go hang out with Maria next Twitch stream.